Hi there, everyone. I wanted to jump in real quickly to chat with you. I am going to be a little bit late back to my session, but I could not resist getting on the call, the live cast today. Now, as you know, I am well over an hour ahead of the schedule, and that's because I am away. I am actually in the gorgeous Orlando in Disney Center and at a conference. Now, I love conferences. I love to give them, and I also love to attend them. And if you don't find yourself attending conferences to grow, then that's something that I definitely want to encourage you to do. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm happy that you were able to get an opportunity to join me, even though I'm a little bit off schedule. So yesterday, we talked about, is life worth living? And I'm continuing that discussion today. And I'm going to be really brief because, as I said, I've got to run back to my session. Hello, Jane. How are you, darling? It's so great to see you. Awesome that you're able to join me. So yesterday we talked about, is life worth living? And I chatted with you about some of the things that people tend to look at to determine whether their lives are worth living or not. And I said, it's saying my connection is weak, so I hope that you can hear me really great, and I hope we will have lasting signal for the short session that we will have today. So now we said, asking the question, is life worth living, is similar to asking, is the glass half full or is it half empty? Okay, thanks, Jane. I'm so happy you're doing great. Good to see you. So, is the glass half full or is it half empty for you? And it's all about perspective. And I also said attribution is another way that people determine how their lives are being lived. Now, what do I mean by attribution? It's what you attribute your circumstance to. So I'm going to ask you a few quick questions. Do you ever find yourself in a situation where you may be on a job, for example, and you find that things are going a certain way and they're not the way that makes you happy? So you decide you're going to quit. I love that. Thank you so much. So you decide you're going to quit that job because these people here, they're just not right. They're not doing you right. So you quit the job and you go to another job. And guess what happens? The exact same thing. It's like deja vu. All over again, the same thing is happening, with only this time it's different set of people. What about in your life in terms of your finances? What about in your relationships? Your other relationships, maybe at home, maybe in your personal relationship. Do you find yourself kind of ending up with the same guy over and over, only he has a different face, but boy, he acts the exact same way? Well, if that is your experience, if you find that you have repeating patterns that are going on, and you are attributing the issue to, oh, it's him, or oh, it's her, or it's the job, I just hate it and I can't like it, that probably could be one of the reasons why your life may not feel as though it's worth living. And I'm not saying you per se, but you, whoever you are. See, attribution is a key element in terms of whether you're going to feel like you're living a successful life. If you're always looking outside of yourself to put the responsibility over there, or the blame, as some people say, whatever it is, excuse me, if you're looking elsewhere to put that responsibility, you're giving the power away in your life. You will never feel powerful and empowered, and your life will probably feel as though you are on a roller coaster and you can never get caught up. Now, everybody has circumstances in their lives that don't go the right way. I just recounted for you yesterday one circumstance that I had in my early 20s, probably late 20s, early 30s, in my first relationship. That was excruciating. But I had to learn to look at me. Instead of putting the blame over there, which probably some of it was, but then again, I had to look at me. I have to say, what am I doing to attract that type of person in my life? What am I doing to attract these kinds of reactions to whatever I'm doing? And when you get to that place where your attribution is solely coming back to you, there's a lot of power right there, because now you can take the reins and you can make the changes and you can transform the circumstances in your life that's not going the way you want it to go. So it's not John or Jill or whoever it is, it's now me, and I am the one to find the answers. Do you know how powerful that is if you really learn to come from there? So what I'm going to encourage you to do today is, rather than looking outside of your life, looking for somebody else to point your finger at and to put the blame on, or the attribution, to attribute what's going on to something else outside of you, just know this, that you are responsible for everything that comes into your space. Yes, it's you, and this is not about blame. This is just the buck stops with you, and you are going to have to be the one to take the necessary actions, be it mentally first, to move yourself in the right direction. If you're in a relationship and it's not going right, why would you stick around? I mean, I'm not saying a wrong relationship is something to break up for. You can always work things out, but you know what your threshold is. I can't tell you that. But you got to set your boundaries, and you've got to enforce your boundaries. But stop and ask yourself, what is it about me? Who am I being? What am I saying that is attracting this to me? You'd be surprised to know that it actually may be something that you are not completely aware of. Then the other question, or the other thing I'm going to ask you to do, is to step outside of yourself, be bold and be brave, and go find someone to ask some questions of. Ask them, what do you see about me that you think needs to be transformed? What do you think you see about me that rubs people the wrong way? Whatever the questions are that you know you need to ask, go ask and be open. Listen, accept. It may be right and it may not be right, but listen anyway, because you're asking. And ask a bunch of people. If you can ask 10 people and listen for the consistency in the responses. When you get those consistencies, those are the things to really cue into. Because a lot of times, you don't see how you are being. Other people are seeing you. You've got a blind spot. And if you are not seeing who you're being, then you're going to keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again, causing you more pain. That's something that I had to learn from my personal life. It has really transformed my whole experience. It has transformed my power and my happiness and fulfillment in life. So once again, I thank you for joining me, and tomorrow I'll probably be here 1:30 to 1:45, somewhere around that time frame, because of when the break is. I'm enjoying meeting all these new people and getting to learn. I give workshops and I receive workshops. And if you find yourself in a position where you stop learning, then that's where it's gonna all shut down for you. But anyway, thank you so much. Oh, I see that, Jane. And it's okay. I would wish so too. And just give her my contact information. I would love to empower this beautiful person. And yeah, let's talk. Let's catch up And for those of you who watch this later, please leave your comments. You know I look forward to that. Have the most amazing day, and I'm going to run back to my session. Love you. Bye-bye.